Peter Fisk ist ein weltweit führender Experte in Strategie, Innovation und Marketing. Er war unter anderem als Marketing-Spezialist bei British Airways tätig und leitete als CEO die weltgrößte Marketingorganisation The Chartered Institute of Marketing. 2004 gründete der Engländer das auf Innovation spezialisierte Beratungsunternehmen Genius Works mit Sitzen in London und Istanbul. Er berät Kunden wie Aeroflot, Coca-Cola, Red Bull oder Virgin bei der Entwicklung von Marken und Strategien. Er figuriert auf der Thinkers 50-Liste der einflussreichsten Business-Vordenker und ist Bestseller-Autor von Werken wie Game Changers und Marketing Genius. Peter Fisk, you are a game changer. How do I become a game changer?
The challenge really is to think about not just your product or your service, but to think about your whole marketplace. How could you change the market, or how could you change the game? Imagine it's like a football match. You could have 3 teams, you could have 2 balls, you could have 5 points for a victory. So how could you change the rules of your marketplace? And if you could do that to your advantage, so it suits your company, then you can put your competition on the back foot. That means you can shape your industry for years and years to come. And that's what makes a game changer.
How can I change the market? How can I change my approach? That's the main question. But how do I start the process to even figure out if I can?
I guess there's 2 real challenges more than anything else. One is about ideas, one is about networks. We live in a world where people can copy things incredibly quickly, so products can be imitated, and everybody's competing being slightly cheaper or slightly better, but instead have a better idea, driven by real insight about the customer and driven by something about your belief in the future. And Google talk about having ideas which are 10 times better, not just 10% better. So have a big, audacious idea. And they tend to be the things which people then talk about, they spread easier. And then have networks. And networks might be social networks, there might be distribution networks, there might be franchising, licensing, all sorts of different networks to make those ideas spread. The idea that you just make money from single transactions is ridiculous today. You know, think about how can you get multiple transactions with every effort you put in, either by subscription or by word of mouth, by customers recommending to other people.
You are a creative genius. That's also what your book is called, Creative Genius. Can our companies nowadays, those companies that are really successful, become creative geniuses, become game changers, or does it take startups and people who think very, very differently to achieve that?
It takes both. And, you know, a startup has the advantage of being small. They're like a speedboat. They can zoom in and out. They can do things very quickly. But a large company is like a supertanker, which is hard to change, but it also has scale. And scale can have real impact. So if you can change it in the right direction, and if you can kind of make your large company into lots of small speedboats, like, say, for example, Virgin or the Chinese company Haier do, then they never have a company which is more than 100 people. And so it's like 1,000 speedboats all working together under one brand and being able to do lots of different experiments, lots of kind of entrepreneurial ideas, but as a whole, making things happen in a much bigger impact.
So that includes changing the organizational structure. What's in a nutshell, your piece of advice you would give to all the CEOs that were listening to you at the NZZ X Days today?
Number 1 is to be a leader who makes sense of the market for your people. Number 2 is about having an inspiring vision of your future marketplace, one where you can shape that to your advantage and then you can inspire your people to follow you. Number 3 is connect all the ideas together from different places, because it's the connections which really have the impact. Leonardo da Vinci said that. Number 4 is really be inspired by that Google quote, 10 times, not 10%. 10% is like standing still. 10% is how you move ahead. 10 times is how you move ahead. And finally, you know, it takes confidence. You know, you have to be bold, you have to be brave, and then you can be brilliant.
Full force ahead for your speedboats as well. Peter Fisk, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Und falls Sie weitere Informationen zu unseren Referenten wünschen und zu den NZZ X Days, dann gehen Sie doch online auf www.nzz-xdays.com.